Welcome back to another episode of the Tom Daniels Paddy Wagon group build, hosted by Chris Cortell, aka Classic Plastic 101, and Dirt Pit. Pretty much today was a paint day. I pretty much got a lot of it covered for all the color callouts that it was asking for. So let me just go ahead and show you. I went with a dark blue paint, which I'll start off with the Craft Smart again, acrylic paint, dark blue, and I went ahead and sprayed this with my airbrush for the most part on all of these components. So as you can see here, these are the actual front fenders. Let me bring the light down a little bit here so you can see a little better. But these are actually the front fenders of the Paddy Wagon. So that's all done up. I also, if I can squeeze this through, I went ahead and did the rear fenders as well on the chassis. So you can see that was done up pretty nice. And then I went ahead as far as the dash panel. So you bring this in real close. And this is actually, I got this masked off on the lower side of the dash panel because this calls for 4 color callouts. Dark blue, gloss black, gold, and flat black for the pedals. So I just went ahead and masked off the lower end, like I said, and airbrushed the dark blue, and then I used the little toothpick to actually put the gloss paint for the black on the dials. So that is done. And for the firewall, got that taken care of. And then we've got the back end of the interior driver seat panel done. If you recall, I painted the padding tan already, so I masked that off, as well as the bars that are going to be eventually painted gold, and I just went ahead and sprayed over the entire thing in dark blue. So that is done. And what else we got? We also went ahead and did the ram scoops and the rear end panels for the Paddy Wagon. So that is now done. And then, of course, we have the 2 side panels for the Paddy Wagon itself. And once again, I masked off the gold bars and then sprayed the whole thing. So that is done. I also started working on the gold-plated rear axle and the differential. So hopefully you can see that. Since it is gold-plated, I did scrape back what was necessary to get good contact when I put on the glue for this. So that is now set and ready to go. And as far as the rear step of the Paddy Wagon, I went ahead and painted that blue on the underside, and then I started with the putting in some of the gold-plated supports for the rear step itself. And I actually scraped back some of the gold plating on that, just enough to use some of my white canopy glue, and I let that sit overnight for 24 hours. So, and then I also started hand painting the rear springs, and that was done in the Craft Smart black gloss paint. And like I said, this was all hand painted, so that is ready to be glued on. So that's where we're at right now for the some of the painting stages, and we will be back shortly. Stay tuned. And we're back, and as you can see, we've got a lot accomplished since the paint day, and just want to go over a few things that I've done to get to this point. As you can see, we've got the we'll start on the top half for right now. Give a look. I'll turn this camera around. But as you can see, we got the engine glued in place and installed to the chassis. We also have the kind of bring this up a little bit. We also have the two front fenders that we glued in place after we I'll flip it around here. After we went ahead and put in the two radius rods along either side of the chassis itself. If we turn it over a little bit, maybe get a chance to. The next thing was the drag link that we attached to the vehicle, and then we went ahead and we put in the tie rod in place, as well as the rear axle and the differential. We also went on the back side here and we glued in place the rear step assembly, so that is done. As far as putting the tires in place, I had to kind of do a little bit of some scraping because it is gold plated to expose the plastic so that the glue could adhere to the tires better. So yeah, so there we go on that part. I did do a little touch up, with some paint just to give it a more finished look. So there you go. That's where we're at so far with the build here, as you see here for the assembly of the car. I'll kind of move this off to the side and kind of look at this one other thing that I did for detail work, was the dash panel. I took the tape off the lower half now, and I used some Tamiya the X12 gold leaf, and I hand brushed that on to the padded part of the dash panel, and then I went ahead and I took out some of the Craftsmart satin black and hand painted the pedals itself. So that is now done, and while I had the Tamiya gold leaf paint out, I also went ahead and did the seat brackets as well, and hand painted all those. So that is now ready to be installed. So like I said, this is where we're at on the build. It's moving along quite well. Like I said, there's just no fit issues really. Just having to trim some stuff up and fit them in place, and it's going quite well. So anyways, that's it for right now. I want to thank again Chris, aka Classic Plastic 101, and Dirk Pitt for hosting this Tom Daniels group build. And until then, we'll catch you on the next update. So everybody have a good day, and we'll catch you all later. Bye.